Hi friends, welcome back to Llama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla. Thanks for stopping by and visiting with me today. I'm so excited to be able to be here with you guys, and I hope you're all having a great day. Today is Crochet WIP Wednesday, and so today, just sharing with you what I am working on. I am making hair. I'm making hair, and so I've made a few already. Now on these I chained about, I don't want them all the same length, so I'm chaining anywhere between 60 and 70 chains, and then I'm crocheting one single crochet back into every chain. And sometimes I make hair different, you know. Sometimes I do 3 double crochets in each chain, and sometimes I do, you know, 2 half double crochets. I mean, I change it up according to what I'm using it for. So far I've made 3, and so I'm just working on some of these today. I'm making a green one now, and I'm just doing 1 single crochet in every chain, and then I'll make it just curly enough. I didn't want this really tight curls, and so yeah. What are you guys working on today? What is your project of the day? This is all I have worked on today. I hadn't been really at my desk working on anything in particular today until I decided to do these, and so got some of these going. And I'm using a 6mm hook. It would look better with a smaller, like probably a 5. It probably would look better. But I just started with a 6, and so I'm going to carry on with a 6. After I got the first one pretty much done, I thought, well, that would probably look better with a 5mm hook, an H hook. But I'd already done it in the 6, and it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to go with it. So I did want to update you guys on a few things. Monday, Big Daddy had a doctor's appointment, and she is inclined to believe that the episode he had last week could possibly be a TIA. Now, in all honesty, she don't know for sure. They'll never know. Like, they've run all the tests and done, you know, nothing really popped out at them, so they won't really ever know what happened. We can just speculate, you know, did his blood sugar drop? Did he have a TIA? We don't know, but she's inclined to believe that. I don't know. I don't know for sure. That day when we went into the office, she did try to get him to go back to the ER to get another workup, and he flat out said no. He didn't want to go because he's already been to the ER twice, and they didn't find anything. And she was like, well, sometimes things don't show up until later, but he don't want to go. So, you know, she dropped it, and, you know, I'm not pushing it either, because I know how frustrating that is to go to the ER and they'll not be able to find anything and act like, why are you here, you know? So, yeah. We talked about a lot of things during that appointment, and I brought up a lot of things because that weekend, he kept talking about going to work on Monday. And I'm like, you were not going to work. I don't know what you were thinking, but he kept referencing as if he was going to work Monday. And he also kept saying, we need to go get my truck. Now, his truck is parked at his work. It is safe. It's fine where it's at. There's no need to go get his truck. And I'm glad his truck is where it is, because he don't need to be driving. But he kept saying, you know, we need to go get my truck. We need to go get my truck. And then he kept talking about going to work on Monday, and I'm just like, what are you thinking? Well, the problem is he's not. And so before we went to the doctor, he was on the phone with, I think, his boss, the CEO of the place where he works. And he told her that he would be at work the next morning, Tuesday morning. He said, I'll see y'all in the morning. I'll be back to work tomorrow. And I'm like, you are in no shape to go to work. I mean, seriously, I see you at home. I know what's going on. So while at the doctor's office, I kind of brought up, I said, we need to talk about a few things. Does he need to be driving? And when should he go back to work? And she said, no, Mr. Miller, use your common sense. If you can't walk a straight line, you don't need to be driving and you don't need to be going to work. And I was like, thank you. So she did convince him that he needed to take the whole week off work and then assess how he is next week, and we'll go from there. Now, then he got on the phone with somebody from his work and said he would be back like Thursday. And I'm like, she did not say that. She said for you to be off work the whole week. But, and I did talk with her about this, he is having a lot of confusion and kind of saying some things that aren't technically true, like saying he'd be back to work on Thursday. No. no, you won't. And then just thinking he's done things that he hadn't really done. And just some little confusion, things like that. So I did talk with her about that, and she said, don't be surprised if you see stuff like that for about 6 months or so. She said that could last about 6 months or so. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, I'm worried sick about him. But that's hard to, like, he didn't gradually get up to this, you know what I'm saying? Like with a dementia patient or something like that, they gradually, or Alzheimer's or whatever, they gradually grew into that. And he just went from fine one day to the next day, all this confusion. Now, today in particular, he said this morning that he feels fuzzy. And I'm like, what are you talking about, fuzzy? He said, I just feel fuzzy, like I don't really know. And then he was stumbling around, as he's always doing. And then later I went back there to check on him and see if he needed something to drink or whatever. And he said that he didn't feel well today. And so he's just been back there in the den, watching whatever on TV. And I'm just, making sure that he's got something to drink and a snack if he needs it and such. So, yeah. And if you have no idea what I'm speaking about, if you're new here or you hadn't watched the last few videos and you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go to my channel, click on my name and go to my channel, and you can read about Big Daddy. One day last week he had an episode. And so, and also I wanted to say that the people that he worked with that found him, the poor girl that found him, bless her heart, she's still traumatized over finding him that way. And the other employees who were all gathered around and came running and saw him in that state, because keep in mind, he looked dead and they all thought he was dead at first. So they're all pretty still traumatized. Yeah. They've been texting him and such. So anyway, keep him in your prayers. Pray for me as I deal with him. Yesterday was kind of bad because he's thinking he's done things that he hadn't done, and he's looking around the house for things that he hadn't done that he thinks he did, and I'm like, you never did that. And he's like, yes, I did. And he's like looking in my yarn room for something that would not be in my yarn room. Looking, you know, I mean, a little bit of confusion going on there. And hopefully that does get better. Now, after his doctor's visit, I had texted the HR girl, and that's who actually found him that day. And I texted the CEO and told them, you know, what the doctor said about him, you know, he need to take this week and let his head heal, and then assess and see how he is next week. So I text them that, you know, and they're fine with that. They know, I mean, trust me, they know, they found him. And so, I had told my son Dakota that I text them, you know, that and all. Well, the next day, he's searching the house for something that he has not done, but he's convinced himself it's here. And I called Dakota and I said, you know, I texted his work and said that he was going to be out all week. I said, I'm just about to text him, never mind, I'll have him there in 30 minutes. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. It takes an hour to get to his work. Oh, but anyway, bless that man. Oh, I don't know. Just pray for us. Yeah, just pray for us that we can get through this. And you know, there's no like really figuring out what happened, because there's no test that's going to say what happened. So we're just speculating and just going from there and just watching from now on. But he almost fell this morning coming through here in the parlor. He had to catch himself on the piano because he almost fell. And he does keep getting dizzy spells too. Even when he's sitting down, he gets a little dizzy. But anyway, just keep an eye on him. When I've had to go out, like I had to go out yesterday, and so I make him go to the restroom before I leave, and I have him everything he could possibly need next to him, and I, you know, make him promise he's not going to get up. If he does have to get up to go to the restroom, that he calls me, and then, you know, lets me know that he's back sitting down and all that kind of stuff. And yesterday, while I was out, I called him and called him and called him, and he wasn't answering, but he was asleep. When I got home, he was asleep. Now, he can't hear. He wears hearing aids, and so his phone, for him to know he's getting a phone call, the flashlight of it blinks, but if it's laying on the table beside him with the flashlight face down, or if it's just too far back to his side and he don't see it, then he don't know his phone's even ringing. And if he's asleep, he don't know. So, but he was asleep when I got back, and I woke him up just to make sure he was okay, and he was, and then he went right back to sleep. So that's good. That's good. And if you didn't watch this morning, if you didn't see, I did put out a video this morning of Zeke and I's walkthrough at our Parish fair where we went and saw how our items placed and how, you know, just saw all the entries and stuff, and we really enjoyed that. That's something I really enjoy, is just seeing other people's artwork. So that was nice to see. And Zeke and I had a fun time doing that. And then I took him to soccer and dropped him off at his soccer practice. His mom was there already. But anyway, we had a fun time doing that. And trying to see which way this curls to give it a little help there. Somebody did mention that they saw in my description box about our son Dakota's YouTube channel. So I did want to mention that to you guys, that he has a YouTube channel. It's called Going with the Whisk. It's about his baking and making cakes and stuff like that. So in my description box, there is a link to his YouTube channel if you want to check that out. He's got a lot of cakes and maybe some recipes or something on there. I'm not really sure anymore. I mean, he had a lot of other stuff on there, that like embroidery stuff and like stuff like that, but he took those off. So I think it's just cakes and cookies and recipes and different things like that now. Okay, and there's the blue. But today we're just hanging out. Like I said, Big Daddy said he felt fuzzy this morning and that he just don't feel good today. So, and I'm recuperating from yesterday anyway. Anytime I have to go out and do, you know, stuff, I pay the next day. You know, you play, you pay. So I've been recuperating today too, and just trying to take it easy. And just doing little things like that. Mainly just I'm checking on him pretty regularly. But anyway, Zeke and I are going to go back Sunday and pick up our projects from the fair. Mine and his siblings' projects. His mom had texted me this morning that they're actually going out of town after church on Sunday, but they would drop Zeke off with me, and he can help me that day, and then we can go to the fair to pick up everybody's stuff. So that works. That's great. I sure do enjoy having Zeke with me. He's such a blessing. And the ladies at the fair, they know me because my kids have, you know, they entered the fair starting when they were little. And they both entered up until, you know, they got out of high school. And also, Dakota did one thing as an adult, but Elijah hadn't entered anything. And every year they're like, where's Dakota and Elijah's stuff? Tell them adults enter too, you know. But they don't really have time to do stuff or work on stuff, and that's not high on their priority list. They're busy, they work. After work, they are not working on, you know, projects for the fair, so. But anyway, she always asks about them and how they're doing and what they're up to and stuff. And so everybody was asking who Zeke was. Like, who's this guy with you? And I tell them, oh, that's my blessing. And I would tell them who Zeke was, you know, that he was a neighbor that comes down and helps me and stuff, you know. And they were all just so impressed with him. And they were all talking amongst each other. Like, when you go, you have to go to all these different stations to enter your things, because certain tables take certain numbers. So you take your items with that number to this table, and then you check out the numbers for the next table, and then you go take your items that have those numbers to that table and so forth. So anyway, every time we would get to a table, they were just like talking to Zeke and telling him, you know, what a wonderful young man he is, and he is. And so I just love that. I just love that they all took up time to talk to him and get to know him and his family and all. So anyway, Phoebe's, I don't know, she's not really barking at anything. She's just saying, hey, I'm over here. She's in her bed under her cover. We are supposed to have some cold weather coming through. We got a cold front coming. We're ready. I'm not going to complain about it, okay? I told my friend Angela I'm not going to complain. She said, yes, we will. Oh. Let's see. What else did I need to update you guys about? I don't know. My mouth. Somebody had asked about how my mouth is doing. It is much, much better. Now, I still have a few places where, like, some bone fragments are coming through. Even right now, I have a place here and a place up here and a little rawness back here. But it's manageable. It's not, like, so painful that I can't stand it. It's manageable, so I'm dealing with it. But, yeah, it's such a blessing also to have these dentures and be able to wear them. So, yeah. What else was I going to tell you guys about? I don't know. I should have made a list. I should have made a list, but I didn't. I'm just working on some simple projects, nothing too big right now. I have some projects that I want to do this next week and some projects to finish up, but you know, I'm not really stressing out over it, and I'm not like, you know, forcing myself to get things done or anything like that. I have a lot going on. I have so much going on, so I'm, you know, not taking requests. I get a lot of requests to do stuff and all, and look, I'm barely keeping my head above the yarn. I'm just dog pedaling, trying to keep my own head above the water, or yarn or whatever, you know. I can't take requests right now, and I just can't do it all. I can't do everything that I want to do. I mean, trust me, I have lots and lots of things I want to do, but I have to be honest with myself of things, what I can do. Because my mind thinks I can do a lot of things. My mind thinks I could go outside and do stuff out in the yard, but guess what? My body's like, you crazy woman. Sometimes my mind doesn't catch up with what my body is able to do, so yeah, that's just the way it is. Trying to, you know, just tend to myself and tend to Big Daddy. He is the strong one, and he is the one that always tends to me and does things for me, and so I'm trying to step up and be that for him, but I'm limited on what I can do, honestly. There's just some things I can't do, and we're struggling in a lot of ways, but we're making it work, you know, just doing the best that we can. So, yeah, that's about it, I guess. Right, Phoebe? I'm just going to sit here and find something to watch and crochet some of these hair strands, and I'll show you later what I'm doing with them, and we'll see how it turns out. It may be a flop, who knows, but it's something easy that I can just sit here and do. Whew, excuse me, I'm so sorry. It's something I can sit here and do that's mindless and not have to really focus, you know, on what I'm doing. I do have to count the change to make sure I'm getting anywhere between 60 and 70 or whatever. 65 to 70 or what. But that's about the most stressful thing I'm committing to, is the number of chains I'm doing. Yeah, I'm just really and truly, you know, I mean, I appreciate you understanding that I'm just swamped right now, physically and mentally, emotionally, and I just can't take requests to do things. I can't, I'm barely tending to myself. I can't tend to Big Daddy. I can't tend to other people also. So I appreciate your understanding and just knowing that doing the best I can. But I hope you all are having a great week. It's Wednesday, and yeah, just trying to get through the week and see what happens next week. Pray for Big Daddy. I am so worried about him. I need to see some improvement in him, like, quickly. Really and truly, I need to see improvement in him. Yeah. So, I'm going to let you guys get going. I appreciate you all so very much for your prayers for Big Daddy and just hanging with us and the encouragement that you give me. And just knowing that you guys are out there, and I appreciate you watching my videos. I need that. I need the videos watched. I don't know when Big Daddy's going to be able to go back to work, actually. You know, she convinced him that he did need to take this week off, and then she said, just assess how he is next week. So I don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what that means or what we're going to do. He doesn't go back to the doctor until, like, I think the 16th. And we'll see. Now, she did draw a bunch of labs that wasn't drawn at the hospital to check things that they, you know, didn't check at the hospital and wouldn't have checked because it falls more under your primary doctor, you know. So she did draw a bunch of labs and stuff for that, and so we'll see what happens with that. I think he did say, I think he did say his vitamin D was like very, very, very low when he looked on my chart and saw some of his lab work. But she hadn't called about it or anything like that, so maybe that's not a concern. I don't know. Alright guys, I'm going to let you get going for real. I just enjoy talking to you guys, and I know that you have questions and you want to know things, and so I'm just trying to get the information out there to you guys, because I know that you have been praying for Big Daddy, and I appreciate that. Alright friends, I will see you all in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and remember, it's a beautiful day to crochet. Bye friends.